Episode 1: The Key That Should Never Be Found. If you ever inherited an old hotel, and everyone told you there was only one rule: it's never open room number 9. Would you listen? I thought I would. I thought I was different. But I was wrong. Because on my first night inside Ravenwood Inn, someone from behind that locked door whispered my name. My name is Henry. 2 weeks ago, I received a phone call that changed my life forever. They told me my grandfather had passed away. The strange thing was, I didn't even know I had a grandfather who was still alive. All my life, I believed he disappeared many years ago. But the truth was different. He had been living alone in a small, forgotten town, running an old hotel called Ravenwood Inn. And according to his final will, the entire hotel belonged to me. At first, I thought it was some kind of mistake. But then the lawyer placed an old, rusty key on the table. And I knew this was real. 2 days later, I arrived at Ravenwood Inn. The hotel stood at the end of a lonely road, surrounded by tall, dark trees. It looked like a place that time had forgotten. The old sign above the entrance was broken. Only a few letters were still visible. Ravenwood Inn. The moment I touched the front door, it slowly opened by itself. Inside, everything was strangely clean. No dust. No broken furniture. No signs that the building had been abandoned. It looked like someone had been living there yesterday. But there was no one around. A few minutes later, I heard the sound of a walking stick hitting the floor. An old man appeared from the end of the hallway. He looked at me for a few seconds. Then he said something that made me freeze. Finally, you came. I didn't even tell him my name. I asked, "How did you know who I am?" The old man smiled and quietly answered, "Because we have been waiting for you." His name was Thomas. He was the caretaker of Ravenwood Inn. He told me he had worked there for more than 40 years. He handed me a large ring of keys. Every room had a key. Except one. I counted them. There was a key for room 1, room 2, room 3, all the way to room 8. Then room 10. But there was no room 9. I looked at Thomas. "Where is the key for room 9? For the first time, the old man's expression changed. His smile disappeared. He looked afraid. "There is no room 9, he said. But I knew he was lying. Because on the wall, between room 8 and room 10, there was an empty space. A place where a number used to be. That night, a heavy storm covered the entire town. The wind hit the windows. The lights flickered. I was sitting in the old office, looking through my grandfather's documents. That's when I found it. A small black leather notebook. On the cover there were only 3 words. The hotel rules. I opened it. The first page said, "Rule number 1. After midnight, if you hear a voice coming from the hallway, do not answer. Rule number 2. If the old clock stops at exactly 3:13 a.m., do not look into the mirror. Rule number 3. If Thomas tells you to stay inside your room tonight, do not ask him why. Rule number 4. If you ever find a key with the number 9 on it, throw it away immediately." I laughed. I thought my grandfather had a strange sense of humor. I closed the notebook. But at that exact moment, I heard something fall upstairs. I grabbed a flashlight. Slowly, I walked up the stairs. The hallway was completely dark. The only sound was my own breathing. Then my flashlight moved across the floor. And stopped. Something was reflecting the light. I walked closer. It was a key. An old, rusty key. And carved into the metal was a single number. 9. My heart started beating faster. The exact key from the notebook. The key I was supposed to throw away. Before I could move, every light in the hallway turned on at the same time. And then, I heard a sound. A door opening. Slowly. A door that wasn't there before. At the end of the hallway, a new door appeared. An old wooden door, with a metal number attached to it. 9. I stood there, unable to move. I didn't know how, but I knew this was impossible, because there was never supposed to be a room number 9. Then, a voice came from behind the door. A voice that sounded old, weak, and familiar. It whispered, "It's Henry." I stepped closer. The voice spoke again. This time louder. "Henry, you finally came back." I froze, because those words made no sense. I had never been here before. I had never seen this room. I had never met anyone inside it. So how could someone behind that door know my name? I reached for the handle. And just before I opened the door, I heard one final whisper. A whisper that changed everything. "Your grandfather has been waiting for you." To be continued.